During this video, we're going to talk about updating your profile and changing your personal settings. You'll see I'm logged into my basic Schoology account. If I want to access my profile, I will click on the down arrow next to my name in the upper right-hand corner. You'll see I have several options here. I can go directly to your profile. This is my user school. If I was in an enterprise version, it would say the name of my school district and my personal settings and log out. I'm going to go to your profile and you'll see we have three columns here of different ways to add information about yourself as a Schoology user or teacher, and then also to find different resources such as your badges and to see all the courses that you are enrolled in. On the left-hand side, I have an image of myself. If I click on edit picture just by hovering over it, I can use any of the avatars that Schoology has provided, or I can attach a file of an image that represents me. If I have an image, I can remove the picture or edit the thumbnail. You'll see that the picture shows up here, but it also shows up in the little circle next to my name and is attached to me as a user. It automatically defaults on the info in the menu here, and that shows information about myself. I can go to updates. If I wanted to, I could add updates here and it would show up with my account. I don't usually do that. I'm more worried about working in my courses with my students. If I click on the info button, I can edit any of this information by selecting the edit button underneath my name in the upper right-hand corner. And you'll see I have different information here about the subjects I teach, the grade levels, and different information. I can change any of this. These are all editable text fields. And this is actually not the date that I was born, but I'm not going to tell you when I was. If I make any changes to this screen, I need to select Save Changes before moving to any of these other areas on this left-hand side. So I'm just going to delete this so I can show you that. And I'm going to select Save Changes. And it will tell me that it's been updated. And then I can click on Interests and Activities. Really, you can put any information here that you want that's appropriate for school. I would add any activities that perhaps I may be a coach of, or maybe if I run clubs after school. And again, if I want to make changes here, I must select Save Changes before I move on. And then there's contact information. This has the email that's attached to this account. I can add a phone number if I wish, and then any websites or blogs that are pertinent to what I do as a teacher or facilitator. Again, I'd have to save changes if I made any changes here. So I'm going to go back to my profile. And you'll see there is a blog feature. I have not created any posts, but if I wanted to, I could create blog posts and people could subscribe. Perhaps I have some really good ideas about how I use Schoology with my learners. I could do that in here and people would be able to follow it and see any updates to the blog posts that I create. Badges are any badges that I have earned for either interacting in a course or in a professional development opportunity within Schoology. And then connections are ways that you can connect with people and perhaps share ideas, message them. If you receive anybody requesting to connect with you, it will show up in the little bell next to your name, where I have my notifications, but I also have requests. So if I wanted to, I could accept this request for connection or dismiss it. And then they'll show up in my connection areas. As part of my digital citizenship, I prefer to connect only with people that I know. And as you attend different professional learning experiences, you might get to know other people within Schoology. So we've talked about these left-hand side menus. We saw how the middle area changes depending on what you click on in the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, you'll see some redundant information, like you'll see your badges here as well. I'll also see any course that I am the administrator of or a member. And keep in mind, this is the same for students as well. Students may not have the capabilities to edit all the fields depending on if they're part of an enterprise version and the district has decided what students can add for their profile, but they will see their badges and they will see any courses that they're enrolled in and any groups that they are a member of. So if I select see all, you'll see that every course that I'm an administrator of is here because I have the little shield, but this one I am simply a member. So there is not a shield. So you'll see that. And the same goes true for the groups. So that's it for your basic profile and how you can add different things to describe who you are as a facilitator or learner. If I click on the pull down menu again next to my name, I can go to settings. And I'm just going to show you the first page of the account settings. This is where you can update some information. Again, it may depend on if you are an enterprise or basic user. Some information you may not be able to edit. But I do have my title selected, and I have this display in place of my first name because I prefer that students don't call me by my first name. So I have all that information here. If I made any changes, I would need to select Save Changes. If I wanted to change my password, I would do it here. Again, if you have an enterprise version, your district may be linked to your management, your student management, and your faculty management system. So you may not be able to change your password. It might be tied to something else. If I wanted to have the iCal for my Schoology calendar to connect with my Outlook or Google Calendar, I can actually use this link. If I have multiple accounts, sometimes people have more than one account because they support many different districts. You can link those accounts. If you perhaps started with a basic Schoology account and your district decided to purchase Schoology and you have an enterprise, you can merge those accounts so you don't lose any of that information. And the last option we're going to talk about is set your homepage. So when you log into Schoology, what is the first thing you're going to see? I have it currently set as recent activity, but I could select course dashboard. So I'm just going to click Save Changes because I like to do that just to make sure in case I did make any changes and show you what that looks like. So if I click on the Schoology icon, it will take me to my homepage, and you'll see that my recent activity is what appears in this area. If I go back to my settings, I can select Course Dashboard, Save Changes, and my homepage will now default to my course dashboard. If you look closely, you'll see there are two tabs here. One is Recent Activity and one is Course Dashboard. I can toggle between these, so it just depends on if you just don't want to have to do that. But it doesn't really matter which one you select. Just think about what workflow works best to you. And then on the side here, I just want to talk about this refresh reminders and refresh upcoming items. Because there's been such a huge increase in use in Schoology, they are making it so that you refresh those items. So it's not pulling as much bandwidth to have those constantly updating for you, and stops having that slow moments or buffering moments when there's a lot of users in Schoology. So again, to get to my profile and my settings, I click on the down arrow next to my name and to access either of those. And as a good digital citizen, I always log out after every time I'm done with Schoology to just have a best practice and keep my environment safe. And that is it for profiles and user settings.